So you know that saying, you want to measure twice and cut once? Well, the only thing worse than just cutting without measuring maybe is to try and cut blindfolded. Contractors, if you're missing this step when you're going to go running paid ads, you'll be flying blind, and that's the last thing we want you to do. So let's get you going and help you set up for success. With today, we're going to cover part 6 of the Contractor's Paid Ad Success Formula. And just like we've done in previous weeks, we've tried to go through all the things you want to have in place so you don't set money on fire when it comes time to running paid ads for your business, whenever that makes sense or if ever that makes sense. So let's jump in and we'll walk through some of the steps that we did before. And I've got a couple of bonuses at the end. Now we're finishing up this series that will help you really just make sure you're getting the right results. And again, you're not setting your money on fire, because friends don't let friends set their money on fire. So let's jump in and get this rolling. All right, so like we said before, so we've gone through this series for the last several weeks. First off, we covered about nailing your offer and your call to action. Got some worksheets to help you with that. We then moved into prepping your space, making sure you got the right front door for people when they come in, so they know what to look for and you show up well. You've got automated responses in place, so you don't let anything slip through the cracks when leads start coming through, and a plan to get those in place. Got your tools so you know what your break-even cost per lead is and what your lifetime value per customer is, because again, those are key numbers to help make sure you don't turn things off too quickly or have things running that should or shouldn't be running. Making sure you've got the right budget in place and a good strategy for not only scaling, but also make sure you've got, again, the right plan and ability to adjust and adapt based on numbers. So we're going to go a little bit more into that with measuring twice and cut once. So knowing your KPIs, your key performance indicators for your ads, so that you can use proper targeting and reviewing the numbers, making changes based on data, not just your gut, or just guesses. All right. So when we're actually spending money on ads, we want to make sure we're doing it the right way, and it's not as hard as you might think. So let's break that down and make it simple. So again, in this part of the worksheet, we've got get a few things to keep track of, and I'll walk you through a quick demonstration. By the way, if you want a copy of this whole thing, the whole series, just comment ads down below. We'll send you the full stuff, get you everything you need so you can, again, be successful with it. So let's go into those KPIs. When it comes to paid ads, here's one of the tools our clients use, and we're going to focus specifically on, for this results tracker, on the pay per click side of things. So when you run paid ads, the base number that where things tend to start is with, whether it's Google or Facebook or Yelp or any of those others, they tend to sell their ad space based on a cost per impression or a CPM, and M just stands for 1,000. It's just an industry term. Anyway, the point is, you want to be able to look at, well, what is it going to cost me per 1,000 people that are going to see my ad? And so as an example, let's say we're going to try and show this to 10,000 people. Usually when you start a campaign, they'll say something like, hey, you're going to, with this amount of budget, you can probably expect that this many people will see it. And that's at bare minimum, you should be able to see that. If not, then something's going wrong and let me know, we can help. But that's one of the first things. So let's just say you're going to send it to 10,000 people, and then they should be able to tell you what it's going to cost you. I just plugged in an example based on an industry average for contractors and trades for about $6 per 10,000, excuse me. And if that's the case, then we started getting to, okay, well, 10,000 people see it. What percentage of them click? That's your CTR, your click-through rate. Again, the quality of your ad is going to determine how good your click-through rate is. So again, if we just take a general average of 1.52%, that's just an industry average. Again, you'll want to plug your number actually in here so you know how you're doing. It means your cost per click is 40 cents. And what percentage of those clicks actually turn into a lead, whether that's a phone call, a text message, or filling out the form, requesting a bid, whatever you've just set your goal is for the ad campaign you're running. Let's just say for this purpose, it's 2%, which means that, okay, your cost per lead is about $20. Now we want to look at what percentage of those leads actually get a bid. How many of them go all the way through the process to where you're able to send them a bid? So let's assume, again, 15%. This number in yellow would be one of the numbers that you'll have to put into this formula based on what you see happening in real life. All the numbers above this should be visible to you, because the system, or whether it's Google, Facebook, wherever you're running ads, should be able just to tell that to you based on the numbers and the tracking they've set up. But you'll want to drop in, because they won't know what happens when you actually get them on the phone or when you actually go out and do it. So again, let's just say 15% means your cost per bid is about $133. And then what percentage of those do you close? And again, let's just say 30% of those actually close. That means your cost to acquire a customer, that's your CAC ratio, is in this case $443. Does that number make sense based on what kind of product you're selling, what your margins are? Again, you depending on what the case is, what you're trying to accomplish by running those ads, that number may be awesome. Maybe it's not. Maybe it needs to get tweaked. Again, you can see all these steps that are above this in this formula will help tell you what do I need to improve to get that number where it needs to be if it's not there yet. Or it might even give you some insights to, well, how much more can I really push the throttle for this number to go up and still be okay based on my budget, based on what I'm trying to do. So that's one of the things I want to make sure you walk through and know those numbers down, have an easy way to track them as your campaigns are running. Otherwise, again, we just hate to see you set the risk of letting your money on fire. By the way, I've got in the rest of this template in this results tracker that our clients use, I've got ways to be able to take these same metrics and apply them to other types of advertising. So this one's the pay-per-click, like we've talked about. Maybe you've got a pay-per-lead campaign. Some ways that you can get leads are run on a pay-per-lead basis. Same numbers there. Maybe you're going to run direct mail. Maybe you're going to run a partnership with a joint venture, another contractor, or someone else in your industry, or maybe you're going to do a commission structure. All these things are in place in case you need them. So again, going back to our template here. So make sure you got your key performance indicators, your KPIs, knowing which ones you're tracking, what they need to be, how they're tracking, where you're going to look at it. So you're, again, not flying blind. And then let's get into targeting next. There's a lot of ways you can target. One of the things, biggest mistakes I see when I look at contractors who are running ads is that their targeting just is off, or it's not as tight as it needs to be. I mean, in the most basic level, a lot of times it's just the geography. A lot of times it could just be they're looking to run an entire state, or even just say the US, and they're targeting the states, or their ads are showing up in states they don't want to go to. So get the geography right. And then there's just a couple other examples to get you thinking, but there's plenty more depending on what type of ads you're running, where you can, again, adjust this and get it, again, more focused, more targeted to get you better quality and not just get letting your ads you show to people you'd never want to work with or work for. And then after that, once you got those first two pieces in place, let's make a plan. This is not a set it and forget it type situation. Okay. Whether that's, hey, every week I'm going to look at these things, I'm going to review these, or every day for the first 2 weeks. I recommend looking at it more frequently in the first couple of weeks while things are scaling, because that's where you'll see the greatest volatility in the results and where you can start to make adjustments and, again, get you closer to where you got it dialed. It's where it's performing and it's profitable, and then you can start moving it up. So again, have a good plan that's committed so that you can review it and, again, not be flying blind. Again, if you need help with any of this stuff, let me know. Again, I'm happy to send you the entire formula with the videos and the templates and all the tools. Just comment ads down below. We'll get that sent over to you. And if you'd like any help with this, either deciding when does it make sense for me to run paid ads, or if you're running them and you want another set of eyes on them to help make sure that you're getting the results that you should, then happy to help you with that as well. Again, I'm not an ad agency. I don't sell ad agency services, but certainly coach folks who are running them or considering running them to see when it makes sense to have that be part of the mix as you start to grow and scale your construction business. So hit me up and we will see you next week.